Welcome to Peter Fogg's Daily Terrors. Tonight's episode is based off of a true story that happened in East Orlando in 2006. Every event detailed in this episode did occur before being fictionally rendered into this new tale. This story was written and produced by Joseph A. Pasquale. No use of artificial intelligence was used in writing this episode.
Just at strike of the witching hour, Victor Bristleton would hear it every night, shortly after 3 o'clock, the sounds of her crying, that sad woman, so very sadly crying, and moaning in the walls throughout the entire house. The sound started happening the very first night he took up the rental residence. At first, he paced the floors and searched every room, and put his ear to every nook and cranny he could, and he peeked outside of every window, and walked the perimeter of the house, but nothing. No sight of any person, no woman with tears streaking down her cheeks, no car parked at the curb over within a mile of the property, no neighbours nearby enough to cause such a haunting sound. And then, the visions came after he moved in, flashes of a woman hanging from a rope in the closet of his bedroom, a young woman, maybe the age of a teenager, her neck tied to the clothes hanger rack, and then the flash would disappear, as if she or it, that ghost, was trying to tell him something about what might have happened inside of his bedroom. Then began the lights going on and off, whenever Victor took a call from a woman, or made a call out to one, as if the spirit was jealous, as if the spirit wanted him to stop speaking to another woman. And then came the lifting of his banjo from its stand, and it being moved across the room to tap him on shoulder, and his loud yell, and the fright he felt was intense, as he stood there naked with a towel in his hand after leaving the shower. And then came the sight of fishing line being woven throughout his 3-blade razor, as if it had been threaded by the hands of a weaver, for Victor could never imagine how any living person could do that with human fingers, weave a thread of fishing line through 3 big razor blades. And where did the fishing line come from? And why were the shower curtain rings removed from the curtain and interconnected around the bathroom sink, all the rings perfectly connected in a circle? Who would do this, and why? No one else had a key to the property. No one else had been inside. And the sounds of her crying and moaning did not go away. No, every night he would hear them, along with the sounds of doorknobs turning, twisting, and locking and unlocking, the sounds of doors opening and closing, all throughout the house. And he would walk the floors in the darkness, and hear the sounds of her crying and moaning within those walls. And whenever a girl came over to visit him, it was as if the female spirit were to become jealous, and put a scare into the unwanted female guest for intruding upon Victor, her fondest house patron. One time, Victor recalled when his date came over to stay the night, and he warned her of the female spirit, who would begin crying and sobbing in the walls at 3. And just then, as he warned her that the lights might go out too, and the girl chuckled, all of a sudden all the lights went out, and his female guest got very frightened as he stood up from the coach to turn a light back out. After they went to bed, the girlfriend woke in the middle of the night, in a terror, with sweat profusely bleeding through her forehead and palms, and Victor heard her heart racing after she returned from the bathroom. She couldn't believe that Victory hadn't been putting her on. No, he wasn't lying about the sad sound of the woman crying and moaning in the walls, nor all those sounds of doors opening and closing, and doorknobs turning. She was scared, very scared, and wanted to leave, but he brought her comfort and told her not to worry. Just then, a painting fell off the wall, and the sharp glass nearly cut her finger in half. Victor rushed her to the hospital, where she had to get many stitches. The girl vowed to never stay over Victor's house ever again. Not ever again. For she too was convinced, just the same as Victor, that the house was indeed haunted.